New obscure image for Generation 10 rumor was put out. From the first looks of it, it looks directly like Scarlet and Violet. And it wouldn't be Legend ZA because the graphics looks different and it's mainly taking place outside the city. And just in general, like the props and the whole room. It looks very, very similar to Scarlet and Violet. I know it does look like kind of Greece, ancient Greece. The silhouette looks like it was added onto the room and it strongly looks like Gloria from Sword and Shield. Beyond these, the Apotheosis mechanic in Gen 10 is currently rumored to be available to any Pokemon by using a specific item. So it's like the Mega Stones in X and Y where we needed this specific orb to attach it to a watch. Better thing about this Apotheosis mechanic compared to the other ones is that it's available to any single Pokemon. So it could be like any Pokemon. Just like in Sun and Moon where when we could attach the Z-moves to any Pokemon that we wanted it to, the mechanic would work during battle. And that correlates to a Majin, potentially known as Divine Sigils, which these items will give blessings to the Pokemon holding the item, and they also offer some specific stat boosts or immunity to status effects. But what's the origin of the word Majin anyway? It's a reference to Dragon Ball Z actually, which is funny. Remember they had the golden balls? They could grant any wish when all 7 of the balls were gathered. Majin is a magical person or being, so these creatures may be worshipped as gods, but also might be more magical based. It's not directly going to be like the Kami trio from Black and White where we saw Tornadus and Landorus. Basically the Majins in Generation 10, sort of like guardian deities, but they also might be more magical based, so it's not going to be based on like strength, it's going to be more of magic, more elemental things that we're going to see, like they're going to control nature, control the environment. It's not just going to be based on power, it's also going to be like based on their own will and protecting the people, just like their own aura that they emit. Either way, it's kind of better this way so we could speculate on these ideas and be surprised when we find out if it's real or partly real or mostly fake. By the way, going back to the Majin though, it's an old term that translates to like magic person or even a demon person, with tons of variations in its usage. It could be used to refer to devils, spirits, sorcerers, or magic gods even. And it's not a specific mythology like the yokai from Japan. Yokai was basically like these living spirits that had emotions and they were always like looming over people. Every time if you go to like a temple, for example, the yokai, the spirits of Japan, they would be there, whether it could be good or bad. Most of them are being correlated to being bad, but if it's for good reasons, that they basically give blessings to them. There's 8 Pokemon that have seemingly been locked in to play important roles in the games, though there is still some wiggle room according to the leakers, but there have been 8 Pokemon selected, based on there was like a riddle. By the way, this could also further expand on the Totem Pokemon and Noble Pokemon concepts featured in previous games. These apostles are disciples of a higher power, likely tied to the box legendaries. On top of that, others would get new forms. So the list was presented as a riddle, so we first start off with one of the Pokemon that has M in their names. I know this is actually going to be a lot of Pokemon with M in their names. So it's going to be Muck, Machamp, Mr. Mime, Marowak, or Mewtwo and a Mew. It's only one of those. It's not going to be every single one of the ones that I mentioned that was in the riddle. The ones that could play a large role for Generation 10. Then the next one is Nidoking and Nidoqueen. Those are 2 guaranteed Pokemon to either get a new form or an Apostle form. Next is Gallade and Gardevoir. It's very similar to Nidoking and Nidoqueen because it's like the couple Pokemon. Then there's also one of Druddigon, Darmanitan, and Durant, which is, if you notice, they're all 3 of them are from Black and White, the Unova region. I mean, based on these 3, probably, I think it's going to be Druddigon because Druddigon is mainly the one that we always remember because Druddigon is very powerful. And just, comparing Druddigon to Darmanitan and Durant, I feel like Druddigon is going to be more of a bigger role. Then next is one of Kommo or Komala, probably Kommo. But Kommo dates back to Sun and Moon where we saw the dragon. He was a totem Pokemon. The last part is the most interesting, which says a new monkey Pokemon. Leakers have said this new monkey Pokemon could be tied to multiple Majin in the game, meaning that the potential for multiple unique forms and extra importance to the story. So this new monkey Pokemon is going to play a large role, as the leaker states. It's going to be very, very interesting because we haven't got a monkey Pokemon in a long time. There wasn't a single one that we got in Generation 9. So it's reasonable that they would do it in Generation 10. Because obviously we know the famous 3 elemental monkeys. So much redemption that we finally got to see those monkey Pokemon on the Switch. But there's also like the Chimchar and Infernape. We haven't got like monkey Pokemon in so long. So I feel like this monkey Pokemon will definitely be a pivotal moment in Generation 10, as the rumor says. That's all for me. If new rumors or leaks comes up, I'm going to be posting. So stay up to date by subscribing, and and like this video, comment down below what's your favorite monkey Pokemon. Mine is Pansage, which is the leaf monkey. See you in the next one.